Where did we come from? A creator or a cosmic accident? In Romans 1:20, Paul wrote, "For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly seen, being understood through what has been made." In other words, the invisible creator can be clearly seen in what he has made in his creation. I want to share 3 simple, self-evident facts about creation. They're short enough to explain over coffee at the gym or in the break room. There are deeper studies you can explore, but the value of these points is that they rest on obvious facts anyone can see with their own eyes. Here's fact number 1. Nothing comes from nothing. Nature is built on cause and effect. Rain comes from clouds. Chickens come from eggs. Sunshine comes from the sun. But what comes from nothing? Nothing. We're told that the universe began with a Big Bang, but what exploded? Where did it come from? Some suggest it came from nothing. That would mean everything, galaxies, stars, trees, bees, even you, came from nothing. But how can nothing produce anything? Imagine no Earth, no sun, no universe, no matter, no space, no energy, no intelligence, nothing at all. An hour later, still nothing. Billion years later, still nothing. With no cause, there's no effect. Yet here we are with love, beauty, intelligence, life all around us. If nothing produces nothing, then the fact that something exists proves there was never nothing. So there has always been something. But what is that something? Well, that brings us to fact number 2. Life comes from life. Centuries ago, people thought life came from non-life, frogs from mud or mice from grain. Scientists eventually proved that life only comes from life. Yet many still claim the first life somehow arose from non-life. But if that's true, why haven't scientists reproduced it? Put chemicals in warm water, all you get are warm chemicals, not life. Amino acids aren't life. Despite decades of effort, no one has created life in a lab. If we can't make life on purpose with intelligence, how could it come about by accident without intelligence? Here's an illustration. Your laptop is made entirely from earthly materials: copper, aluminum, lithium. Now scoop up a bucket of mud with all these minerals. Put it in a paint shaker for 1,000,000 years. When will it produce a laptop with an operating system, hard drive, power supply, and a screen? It won't. Raw ingredients aren't enough. It takes intelligent design. And that's the basis of fact number 3. Design points to a designer. Everywhere in nature, we see purposeful design: a newborn baby, the flight of a hummingbird, the camouflage of a mimic octopus, the Venus flytrap, a migrating salmon, the immune system, the eye, the ear, even fingerprints. Why do you have fingerprints? Most people think it's for identity, but more than that, they're actually for grip. Press your wrists together, slide them apart. Smooth. Now do it with your palms. Notice the traction? That tread helps you hold tools, open jars, pick up coins, swing an axe, and it only exists where you need it: your palms and the bottom of your feet. Without it, you'd fall down in the shower. Just like on car tires, the tread is designed to be exactly where it's needed. Or consider the archer fish shooting down insects from above the water, the honeybee's dance that maps out the location of flowers, the robin that somehow knows how to build a nest and somehow knows she will need a nest. These are not random accidents. They reflect purpose and intention. So let's put it all together. First, if nothing comes from nothing, then something has always existed. Second, if life comes from life, then there has always been life. Third, and finally, if design comes from a designer, then that designer is the source of life and creation. And it's not just Christians who can see the power of these designs. Unbelievers see it too. Listen to this science professor wrestling with what we can all observe in nature. When we look at the amazing, apparently intelligent designs that evolution produces, it takes some imagination to understand how random variation and selection produce them. If evolution can learn, this can demystify the awesomeness of the designs that evolution produces. That's exciting because it explains why biological design appears to be so intelligent. Just like Paul said back in Romans 1, the power has been clearly seen. It's not just Christians that see it, but some, as Paul also said, simply don't, quote, see fit to acknowledge God, unquote, Romans 1:28. But the evidence is there. And if we're willing to consider it, we find that it testifies to the existence of a very real, very powerful Creator.